Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hey, welcome to Monday's meeting. This is gonna be really weird because there's two of us. Can I have approval of the minutes from June 10th, regular meeting, and June 11th, special meeting?
Make a motion to approve.
Second it, all in favor?
Aye.
Approve employee claims filed with the county auditor for $3,249.65.
So moved.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Approve claims filed with the county auditor for $406,842.35.
Make a motion to approve.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Approve election claims filed with the county auditor for $18,956.88.
Have a motion to approve.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Did you get a chance to look at the health report?
I did.
I did too.
That's good.
Yes, it does.
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second it. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Approve annual ISAC HIPAA agreement.
This is something that Karen puts together. It's basically our yearly agreement with ISAC. And we just need it approved and authorize the chair to sign. And then we have to issue a check for $1,750.
I would make a motion to approve.
A second. In favor?
Aye.
Approve minor plat for Kyle Keating. Oh, and I need to also amend the agenda. Like a home industry permit for John Cook underneath the minor plat for Kyle Keating.
I
Sorry, I'm out of luck.
second that.
First and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Should have done that at the very beginning.
Okay, this minor plat is on a property that we rezoned back in early February 2023. Everything's in compliance as far as minor plat, aerial imagery, attorney's opinion, legal descriptions, all accurate, checked by Marine. There's no lender's consent on this one. No loan on the property. Owner's consent, plat of survey, and then the treasurer's certificate is in line as well. In regards to comments from the county attorney, this will have a shared driveway. You want to flip to the next aerial. Basically, they split this acreage, didn't take any tillage farm area out of production, and they're looking to build a new home to the east. As far as county auditor, everything was good. Assessor, no comment. GIS, no comment. No issues when the minor plat comes through. I did note already that it had been rezoned. It did come with a condition from this board as well that only one dwelling could be constructed on each parcel. So there'll just be one in the yellow area. And then I also noted that the current septic system for this home is in this area here. So when I work with them, that the condition of the minor plat will be that the home will have to either go to the east or the north of the current septic system, which is definitely doable. But I did want to point that out. But other than that, pretty much straightforward as far as the split goes. And then once this is recorded, they'll be on our mapping.
The septic for the new dwelling will have to go west.
So if you bring that back up to the. So if they place here, we could go to the east or to the north.
Okay.
And any current septic, we gotta stay 10 feet apart before another one can be constructed.
And what about well on that property?
So we'll have to stay with the setbacks. Any septic tank will have to be 50. Any new leach field will have to be 100. And if you pull back the existing septic.
You're not gonna do a shared well or anything like
No,
that.
they possibly will. That's
Possibly.
totally up to them. But if the new well was chosen to be used, it'd have to have them same setbacks. And you can, I don't know if you can see that, but that's the well right there. So I
Okay.
wanted to put that.
That would be a long ways to use the same well.
Yeah, they'll probably have to do the math, but a new well you can't get drilled for less than 20 grand. So running a water line across there,
Might be less
maybe,
expensive.
yeah, less expensive. But we let them decide. You just have to put together some type of an agreement between the two.
I'd, make a motion to approve the minor plat for cow feeding.
I will second it. All in favor, signify by aye.
Aye.
Aye, approved. Okay. Home industry permit for John Cook.
So this, yeah, location that we're building was gonna go. I've met with John roughly a week, 10 days ago, but this is Union Avenue. This is where it'll go. There's several trees. We installed a new septic tank right here and the leach field goes here when the property was transferred from Gaffney to the two brothers. So everything is in compliance there, and again, it'll be a lot more blocked from the road. There's no employees, it's just her, and commonly they make all their deliveries from the location to their customers. And what we would do is we're gonna do is really just continue to renew the permit. The address on it's just gonna change. And then that building that's on that location where they live now will come, it's the same structure. They put down a rock pad, portable building, they put some Horkheimer type anchors on that.
Just out of curiosity, do customers come there to place orders or?
Sounds to me like everything's over the phone, internet, email, that type of stuff.
All right. Do you have any further questions?
I don't. Make a motion that we approve the transfer of the home industry permit for John Cook.
I will second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Oh, yeah. A whole bunch of manure management stuff going on. Okay, place on file the following manure management plans. Grassland Pork LLC, Jefferson Township, Section 18. Peck's Home, Madison Township, Section 32. Progressive Pork LLC, Richland Township, Section 31. And Charlie and Peg Ward, Newton Township, Section 23.
I'd make a motion to put those on file.
I will second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Set public hearing for the zoning request, July 8th, Roberts at 9:15, Hoover at 9:25, Waltham at 9:35, and Rathburn at 9:45, and these are all in the morning.
I'd make a motion to set those public
I
hearing
would
dates.
just make a comment. So the Wathen one, we have a couple older farmers that are involved and adjacent property owners, and they like to talk. So that 9:35 one, I would probably give that at least 15 and maybe move Rathburn to 9:50.
Okay,
So Rathbun's gonna be at 9:50 then.
The other ones, Roberts and Hoover, gonna be pretty much straightforward. Should be,
Okay.
And just so you know, the Roberts one, it's close to within the proximity of Jessup.
I was
And then we
wondering
give them
about
the
that.
minor plat to review, so they don't have any say on the rezoning of the county, but any minor plat within that radius, we send it to Chris Hughes and then.
You too. Okay. So that won't affect the taxation, or it will, the rezoning?
It should, I mean, it'll affect it because when a new dwelling's built, as far as. The only time it'll be affected is if it ever does get annexed into the city, which I assume will happen at some point. That's 5 years or 15 years, I don't know.
Okay.
All right, thanks.
Thank you, Chad.
Yep, have a good week.
You too. Make a motion? To set the public hearing?
I did.
All right, I second it. Did we already do the all in favor?
Yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, discuss courthouse roof. So this one, it's a damaged roof. And the people that did the roof originally came out, and they were also with the adjusters.
And the claim has been submitted to perform the repairs. I would like to, based on our bid process, if you go down to letter L, emergency repairs. When an emergency repair or replacement is necessary and the delay of advertising and public letting might cause serious loss or injury to the county shall by resolution make a finding of the necessity to institute emergency proceedings under Iowa Code 384.103 as amended. And shall procure a certificate from a competent registered professional engineer, architect, or professional or expert in the field affected by the emergency and not a regular employee of the county certifying that emergency repairs are necessary. Based on what we heard from Service Roofing, there is a danger of further excessive damage if it's not repaired on a timely basis because the roof has separated. And if the wind were to get underneath there, it would allow moisture and everything to get in.
Right.
And it's leaking around that one area there also.
We had a very unusual spring, so.
Right.
Did you guys see what the insurance company sent?
I heard they approved the claim, but I didn't.
I did see
Pull it up here.
And we probably need to figure out where we're gonna get the rest of the money.
So they estimated it at $37,032.31. Then they took $9,709.23 off for depreciation. So cash value of $27,323.08. Our deductible is $10,000, so we're gonna get a check back. Well, actually, then they put the depreciation back in. So net claim, if depreciation is recovered, is $27,032.31.
That's after the 10,000,
No,
before the 10,000.
that'd be,
So you take the 10,000 off, that knocks us down to 17,000, and if they throw back in the recoverable depreciation, which I'm gonna be honest, I don't know how that works, then they put that 9,700 back in. I can send you guys this.
Well, I seen it. I was,
Oh, you guys did get it?
yeah, I was
Okay.
kind of like you. I don't understand how they took it out and then they could put it back in.
Mhm. I can reach out to John Evers and ask him.
So we're gonna have to figure out how we're gonna come up with the rest of the money to pay it. I mean, we have to come up with 10,000, we have to come up with 19,000.
Mhm.
So we need to figure out where that's gonna come from.
Well, and it's already June 17th. By the time we get somebody out here, we're gonna be into the new fiscal year, so we will either have to deduct it from some of the capital projects and that, or we will have to do an amendment.
at least it gives us time to,
At least we put money back in capital projects too.
Mhm.
Do you know how much we have left in capital projects for this year, or did we use it all?
Not off the top of my head.
Because we still got budgeting to do.
I think we still have some, but we got until next Monday to get it completed and get the invoice in for the claim, to get the claim process to be approved on the 28th,
Now,
29th.
29th, yeah. Now, does that money in that line item
28.
carry forward?
No. It just stays in the pool, but it's not budgeted.
Okay,
I would make a motion to proceed with the roof repair.
I'll second it. All in favor?
Right,
Aye. Motion carries.
So are we just gonna just contact Service Roofing?
And have them come back and do it.
since Clayton's not gonna be available, I'll go ahead and contact Service Roofing and
Thank you.
get them.
Appreciate it. Oh, Mr. Kylie.
Good morning.
Morning, Brian.
Boy, it's a good thing I came early because you're still early.
I roll through the stuff if we can. All right, 28E agreement with Jackson County.
Okay, I had emailed, as I was directed to, email the county attorney's office. His basic question, has it been officially approved? And if you remember, the correspondence are done.
I do. And we just need to officially approve it. He has already written the letter. Are we ready to have part ways with Jackson County and have Alex just be solely ours?
But he'd still be contracted out to do the bridge inspections, or is that going away too?
That goes away too in Jackson County. Now, what we've got is we've got Independence and Pulaski. And I'm hearing word that Hazelton, which has one new bridge, is gonna want it inspected by us.
Bridge over the Hot Creek there.
Yes, Otter Creek, yeah, and it was actually built by us a few years ago, so we're dealing with a new bridge that we built. And
I'd make a motion, we approve the cancellation of the 28E with Jackson County.
I will second it. All in favor?
All right,
Aye. Thank goodness, we don't have to share Alex anymore.
thank you. I felt that way too, but some battles you can't fight.
True, very true. All right, county engineer, technical conference trip to Canada. You want to go over that with us, Brian?
Sure, I've been invited to come up to 2 hours, Burnie, Canada. It's 2 hours north of Toronto and speak, and they pay all the expenses. What, they weren't even real clear which subjects, because we've been the leader in many subjects nationwide. When you start looking at base stabilizations, the auto seals, but I assume this was pretty much around the bridges. And yeah, we've got the first of a lot of different kinds of bridges, particularly the ultra high performance concrete. We had the first pi beam bridge, and then we went on and partnered with the Koreans on that. We've got the first of several types of steel bridges, and the press brake tub girder, the Buffalo Creek Bridge, which is a unique first bridge to have the rebar and the beams and everything galvanized. We've got some of the first buried soil structures. So what they're really wanting is that knowledge in that area. They haven't been real clear how much time and what all subjects they want me to speak on yet.
Is this something that could be done by Zoom?
I've tried that before. Just a few years ago, the Soy Transportation Coalition wanted me to speak in California. I don't remember which city. And I tried to do it by Zoom, but it was not very productive.
now, Brent, this is a technical conference. It's in Canada. Is this an international organization, or is it Canadian, or?
It's Good Roads, and Good Roads is US and Canada. They used to call themselves Ontario Good Roads, and then they dropped off the Ontario and they just call themselves Good Roads. There is efforts, and we will know this fall whether NACE will actually be held in Canada in a couple of years. The National Association of County Engineers, there are efforts to have their conference in Canada. And it's amazing. It all kind of ties together, but they're trying to do the same jobs we're doing to maintain the lower volume roads,
I guess I'm trying to figure out how this is gonna,
benefit Buchanan County.
that's it. Okay.
Yeah, and I had a little bit, just visiting with my own guys, they say, Brian, you always come back with things when you come back from these conferences, so it does help. That's the only thing you really say. Otherwise too, the contacts you make tend to help you as you go down the road too.
I know we've been very successful in getting a lot of materials and work donated to us
Yeah,
because of the involvement in that.
yep.
I guess there's no cost to the county other than him being out of pocket, basically.
Yeah.
For what, 3 days with it?
It'll take you a day to get there,
The
the day there, and then a day to get back.
Yeah.
When is this conference?
October
October.
9th. My other concern is you getting yourself spread too thin. Health concern,
Yeah.
and obviously that's not good for anybody's mental health.
I'm not too worried about this one because I pretty much got all my presentations. You figure out which subject and you just shove it in.
Well, you will have Alex back full-time at that.
And Alex will be back full time. Yep.
I'd make a motion to approve, Mr. Keileber's trip to Canada.
I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
And the third thing is plans.
Taylor Ford, where?
Nolan Avenue.
What is,
Nolan Avenue. Oh,
Okay,
thank you, thank
Nolan.
you, thank you. Yep,
We'll put that on the calendar, please.
right. Thank you. I will. I'm also gonna request some vacation time to use some vacation time this week too.
Oh, yeah, please.
We're babysitting one grandkid is all, but
That'll run you ragged.
well, especially when you sleep, the three of us in one bed last night.
Although I do share mine with a cat.
So are these is this project the same one where they did, you had the transportation alternatives program for Taylor Bridge? That
Yes,
was approved a year ago?
yes, but now we need the plans approved.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure, I mean, because I have a whole file on that, I wanted to ensure. that
We've got
it's the same
about
project.
235,000 in funds, outside funds for this project. And we're real nervous where the prices are gonna come in, and so for that, I was contacted by the DOT this past week too. They want to document this. They want to hire, I'm gonna use the term archaeologist, but a video crew from Loras College to come out and document the bridge, document the repairs, to document the whole thing. And I was real cautious to make sure that just because we put the project forward, if then prices come in too high, we might not do it. And they're fully aware of that.
So. How
We would,
much do you think it's gonna be off?
Alex wouldn't give me a number because we're dealing in areas that we just don't deal with.
Right.
And one of the big areas on this bridge going into it 2 years now plus on trying to get estimates was the wood products. And wood was extremely high, and bid prices from the DOT was extremely high on the wood at that time. Well, those prices have come down significantly. And so, yeah, I'd come up with an initial estimate of 300,000. And I was requesting 280, and they cut me down in numbers for about 235. So we can go through a letting, see what happens on it, and then reject the bids is probably the best answer.
No way to come up with the extra funds to get it done.
I can shift monies around in my construction program, but that means I'm pushing other things back too. Which is the bigger issue that I have is once you spend the money, you don't have it to spend if you need it later.
True.
since they're gonna be closing the Iron Bridge access, have we worked with county conservation on the?
We've definitely worked with Dan Cohen a bunch on it.
Mhm.
Because if you notice there to put up some kiosks and such too. And so we've actually widened one portion of the bridge to add the ability for people to go out and look. Quite a set of plans, isn't
It
it?
really is.
And
This, we went over this in your office, right?
yes, yep. And I'm gonna give you some other things that are happening too. And this is all Friday at the county engineers executive board meeting. The DOT says they don't have enough people to administer our federal aid projects. And so we voted as the county engineers that we will fund 3 personnel from the DOT using federal funds. So the state legislature controls how many people the DOT can have. And they're telling us we've been waiting on the environmental approvals on the other set of plans since January. And their comments is They can only administer so many. So from the county engineer standpoint, we're gonna take some of our federal aid funds to hire employees for the DOT to work through the environmental.
So that's that much less we get to do with our funding.
It really does, it impacts me a little bit as I go through TAP funding and other kinds of funding, don't it? But
God forbid they touch their reserves that they've got sitting up there.
yeah, well, and the big, you guys know my opinion, the big area they're nailing us on is these heavier trucks. And if I'm understanding the report that I read last week from Iowa State, it's a super load costs us about $500 per mile that we allow on our roads in damages to our pavements. And I've emailed them back there was a preliminary draft that came up to ask that question directly, and I haven't heard back from them yet. But that's my fear. They're gonna destroy our payments and from the heavier loads.
The assistance to get them fixed.
And not offer any solutions to get them repaired. That is, yeah, that's separate from this issue, but it's,
Good to know.
yeah.
Would we need a motion or anything on this?
You need a motion, then I would need your signatures too.
I'd make a motion, we approve the Taylor Ford Bridge rehab plans and the chair sign it.
You get to sign too.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
And you saw the little email too on Thursday that, you guys remember the young man that we had lunch with down in Des Moines? Logan?
Yeah.
Well, he's representing a company that has a material that rejuvenates your asphalts.
Uh-huh.
And he's gonna do a demonstration for us here this Thursday at 3:00.
That's the one you sent the email about.
That's when we sent the email about. And then he's also gonna do another demonstration next fall.
It's this Thursday or next Thursday. I have a meeting, but
This Thursday. And part of it was we were trying to figure out when we could fit things in and realizing that intercog's about 1:00. And that's one of those meetings that I always worked with Clayton or whoever, because one of us needs to be there. We've got almost $3 million no, it's over 3 million, almost $4 million from them. We got 1.7 on the Kowalski Diagonal. We've got 1.9 for up by Aurora in federal funds from them. So I've seen where a city didn't show up and they lost their funding. I will be there Thursday.
don't lose our funding.
Yep.
Hey,
So they're gonna do a little demo on W13 this Friday, and then this fall, they're gonna do one on D48.
And that's that special emulsifier or whatever. it
Yes,
was that-
yeah,
and that's this Friday or Thursday?
this Thursday and then next fall. So if you can't make it this Thursday, we'll just try and communicate when it works in their schedule, because when they're doing free demos, you can't hardly,
And what time was that scheduled for?
3:00. After the intercog meeting.
You'll have time between intercot to get back from, okay.
Yep. Or they will wait for me because we're also letting the other engineers know too what's going on.
Okay. You have anything else?
That is everything I've got.
Public comment?
What was the location of that in your car?
Intercog is held in the Intercog building in Waterloo.
Off Park Avenue, isn't it?
Yeah, that's not an
Yeah.
open meeting though, is it?
What's that?
That's not an open meeting, not open to the public generally.
Well, I would say that it is open to the public if they really want to attend.
Is the agenda posted?
The agenda gets posted, yes. If you throw me an email, I'll try and send it to you. This isn't one of the more interesting meetings. We do have some that are. And basically, a lot of the federal funds go through, virtually all the federal funds that get to the counties go through there except the BR fund, bridge funds. So TAP, Transportation Assistance Program, your trails funds go through there and such. Another thing I should bring up too, if we're talking, is they're getting ready to pave the Cedar Valley Nature Trail.
Mhm.
And so when they pave right through our roads, unless they're already paved. And then they'll put aprons back behind. There's a couple of them they'll need to close off. And I said, you gotta let me know at least the day in advance so I can notify everybody else that the road's closed. There's a couple they can't close because they're dead end roads.
We have to barricade those or what do we have?
We don't have to do anything. They do it all. We communicate there where we're at. So law enforcement, ambulance, everybody knows. And that could be happening this week. The roller's out rolling on the rock roads. And
Now, when they get all done, do they send you a report on that?
they will keep these files in Des Moines and we can access the files through their computers.
Okay.
And yeah, because it's a tremendous amount of data.
Well, it looked like it from that sample you sent us that,
Yeah.
I'd have a hard time
Now imagine,
navigating all of it.
take this times 99.
That's something I want to do.
Yeah, 99 counties. And the goal is that every county in the state eventually.
All right, Bob.
Brand, one comment, thank you for getting that, the area on the roads, Freeman and what, I can't remember the road, it's on Brandon, that the guy got that cut, you know, I did mowed as far as that. I reached as far as I could, I didn't want to go because there were some yellow plants there that I didn't know if those were the ones you don't get into, but they were as high as there's that one place, the weeds were as high as the mailbox, and I don't know why the guy hasn't trimmed around. So thank you for that. That got done. And then I have a question with the Brandon Cemetery. Just outside of the cemetery, we have a tile that's busted and it must be with all the rain and that type of thing, but there's a fairly deep hole. Is that the cemetery's responsibility or the county's? Because it's between the fence and between the road.
The outlets generally would be considered the adjacent landowner, but the right answer is let's look at it together and see what we come up with for an answer. So if you knew when, I would try and meet with you down there sometime.
When do you have time?
If you wanted, I'd do it right after this meeting.
Okay. We can do that.
Can I
Yeah.
swing down and check out on the bridge too?
Yeah.
That's the best answer, doing it now.
Sure.
Connie?
I'd like to thank you again for what you did with provide issue. Remarkable job. You showed your dedication to the county, and I said before that we're really hard to express what we feel. But I'd like to share with you how your actions affected the safety of our county. You remember my comments at the final WEX meeting regarding the lady who emailed us just hours before the meeting? Wanted us to share her story. You'll remember it was a little bit incredulous that the whole thing happened. So we visited the farm just to make sure her story held. And in reality, things were worse than what she described. Well, one thing that I misunderstood on the phone call was the acreage that was going to be shot back. I said 300 acres, when in reality, the company will only do 12 to 20 acres of the immediate field. The rest is up to the family. When we told the wind turbine company, when they told the wind turbine company they were going to clean up the rest of the field themselves, the company insisted they don't do it because you have to be an expert who has received special training to remove fiberglass debris from a wind turbine fire. It's worth pointing out that you also have to be an expert who has received special training to remove asbestos. It was also up to them, the farmer, to cordon off the area, including the fall zone. There are still 2 blades attached to the burn nacelle, and at least until another windstorm comes along. The company refuses to come out. There was no insurance on the turbine when it burned, even though insurance is a condition in their contract. The technician that worked many hours on their turbines over the years told them that at least 1 turbine burns in this country every single day.
The family spoke with us in the field for almost 2 hours. They were incredibly friendly, incredibly outgoing, and unbelievably frustrated. They asked us to extend invitations to the PNC and the BOS to visit the farm for themselves to see the aftermath of a turbine fire. If you'd like to take them up on that, you can contact me and further information. But I will say that they've been a little bit quiet right now because they didn't realize that this would actually go viral, the story. And I think they were a little bit intimidated by that because they're trying to walk that fine line of trying to,
They gotta play nice.
pardon me,
They have to play nice to try to get something done, but yet they're getting nothing done.
that's it exactly, as they don't know which side of the fence to fall on. So it's an easy 1 hour drive, but whether or not, if you contacted them, if they will get back to you at this point in time, they've been pretty quiet with us. Although they were very, very happy that we came down. We took photos. They don't do justice to the situation or show the compacted soil or crushed 6-foot deep tiles that they have to replace. I brought a little baby along right before we left. We asked if we could get a sample from stuff from their fields, and this took them seconds. Oh, well, I'll take it. This took them just a few seconds to walk into the field and pick this up with, she carries gloves in her pockets all the time. It's just a token, and I do mean a small, tiny, itsy bitsy token of what they have in their fields. So like I said, what you did, it saved this county. That's all there is to it. It's, that's not an exaggeration because all of their fields.
I can't even imagine. What
Fiberglass.
the heck? You can't even, like, what happens if an animal eats this? They're
Yeah,
gonna
what
choke on it.
happens? They're worried about that.
Like, and
They did have,
Corn rolls that they harvested.
oh, yeah, but no, the, pelicans, they did have a pelican drop over from getting hit by one of their turbines. But,
That's amazing.
it is
That was-
amazing.
oh,
Yeah.
that's he's sick.
It's just, and this is just, like I said, a tiny,
No, it
tiny
won't go away.
sample, and it's just all over their fields.
And what
How
I-
do you get rid of that?
And what happens if they got into the water?
Yeah, well, see, that's the thing, and I'm the sneak friend you pigeon.
You know, 30 years ago, 60 Minutes would have done a great expose on something like that, but you don't hear that kind of reporting anymore.
What's more, I'm not sure you would on this one because that's the solution to it. There, you know, with the electric cars and everything. Which do over twice the amount of damage to the roads.
Because they're heavier.
Higher tire pressures too.
And what are you gonna do when a whole bunch of electric cars gets in one of those nice little parking ramps that are only designed for the weight of cars we have right now?
Just to add a quick comment to what Bonnie said, I was out there with her. And like, I couldn't believe what we saw. And it's sad. And you feel sorry for the family, what they're going through and what it's gonna do to their future livelihood. It just makes you angry about the devastation that's out there. There was pieces of that thing out there 1,200 feet from the turbine. And a half mile away out in the road and in a neighbor's yard, there was this stuff all over the place. So I don't know how they're gonna clean this thing up. It's gonna be impossible.
So even the neighbors are affected then? Like, I mean, it's not even the person
Oh, yeah.
that got paid money to put this on their property. The neighbors are also affected.
It's in neighboring fields all over the place. But remember the roads? she was
Yeah,
telling
I
us
wonder
about?
what the pay rate would do.
Trucks and,
Yeah. It took 50 semis just to bring the crane out there. 50 or 60 semis just to bring the crane, try and take the thing down. Now the other one's still standing as we speak. This just happened a month last fire. But the picture doesn't do any justice to it. You have to go see
The
it.
crate is so separate in pieces, it hasn't done.
Yeah.
But didn't the company send not only like 3 shop vacs?
Yes.
Yeah.
Three shop vacs.
They actually, the shop vac people were there when we got there, and they were standing around going, we didn't know it was this bad. I mean, they were just like, we don't know what to do.
3 shot backs is not gonna do anything.
Well, it wouldn't, except that they weren't going to do as much as what they thought they were going to do. But, the people, they had gotten estimates from people who do this all the time, and it was like over 100,000 to clean up everything. Well, these people didn't know. They thought they just were coming in to shop back up, 12 to 20 acres. They gave an estimate of 30,000. So guess which one the company picked? And these were the people that the shop back that were looking around, and the farmer her father was taking them around to show them in the field what they had, and they're just like deer in headlights, They're just,
And who was the company?
who was the company, shop vac company?
No, the company, the wind turbine company.
Axios or something,
X.
out of Chicago.
Things are always better when they come out of Chicago, aren't they?
Take a look for yourself, go see it.
Or like otherwise, like I said, I've got.
Where was this one located? In Greenfield?
Mechanicsville,
Mechanicsville.
just south of Mechanicsville, about a mile in. And the cornfields are already growing, and you can see
Yeah.
cornfields.
That's the thing, she says, you're gonna have to kill off the corn.
Yeah, they got.
They can't harvest. And they
No, because,
And if the corn starts growing, then they can't even clean.
well, yeah, and if you do harvest it, then what happens to your combine?
They can't feed the cows with that. They said they've got a field that they own further away, and they'll take what they can get out of that for the corn crop, the corn husks, or not the corn.
Corn bales.
Thank you. And so they'll take that, but the fields that they usually take the bales out, they can't feed it to the cows and them.
It's interesting.
It's gonna do with the deer that started.
They were worried about that too. They were worried about the eagles in the fields picking things up. They were really concerned about the wildlife around there. And, like I said, they're very, very frustrated. You left feeling really downhearted for these people. But it's nice.
Other reason to go back to nuclear.
DNR contacted them?
Mhm.
Pardon me?
Has a DNR contacted them?
And not that I'm aware of. I don't remember them saying anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably who they need to get involved. EPA, DNR.
I'd be getting a lot of people involved if I could, but they're, like I said, they're trying to walk that fine line because they're afraid that the company will do nothing if they make them mad, and they said it's really. They didn't want any more, they didn't want to contact through email, they wanted it all on phone.
Understandable.
They're playing hardball.
Crazy.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Keith, do you have anything?
No, sir.
Okay.
Here it was.
I'd make a motion to adjourn if we're done.
Second. Meeting's adjourned at 10:40 something,
9:40.
9:40 something. Oh, let's not make it so easier for another hour.
Got a vote.
But